Hello everyone and welcome. So today is going to be a quick Christmas card assembly video. In a previous video you will have seen that I did some stamping when I was crafting with Linda last, and this pile of presents was one of those. I have since coloured that in and trimmed it to 3.5 by 5 3/4. I'm going to put that on a card base which will be 5.5 by 7.5. That's going to layer up onto some holographic silver mirri, which is 6 inches by 3 3/4, like that. And then this is part of the packaging from the Made to Surprise Advent calendar for last year. So this was the front this was day 10, and this is the back and the flap. So I'm going to keep those for another project. So I have got another piece of the same holographic silver that I'm going to layer that onto, and then once those are stuck together we will look at a sentiment. So I have my panel, and on the back of the panel I've put some red tape, and I've lifted the corners of the red tape on the opposite ends, and I'm going to put that on to the silver panel, making sure I've got an even border. I've done the same with the patterned card, so I'm going to put that on the silver. So I've stuck a coloured panel and the piece of card from the Advent set onto the mirri panels, and I've put some foam on the back of here, and I'm going to put this on the front. Run some Pritt stick along the back of the foam, or any other glue stick, doesn't matter. So that's the top of the card. I've pre-prepared a card blank, white card blank, 300 gram from the Works. I'm going to stick that onto there, and then we need to think about a sentiment. So that's stuck on, and I'm going to set that aside to dry. I've pre-prepared a sentiment, but I'm going to show you how I made that. So sentiment die, I wanted Merry Christmas, and I found this die in my stash. It's just cuts the words, it doesn't cut a shadow. So I've seen recently on the internet someone else create a shadow using the die itself, so I thought I'd give that a go. I've got a piece of the mirri cardstock that I've used on the front of the card, and I turned it over so it's face down because I didn't want to draw on the finish itself. And I have laid the die cut inside up, and I laid it on the back of my piece of silver holographic, you can see there, and I drew round it with a pencil. Once I've drawn round it, I then cut it free of its pencil marks, and that has left me with half and half. So I've chosen to cut it in half to separate the words. As you can see here, I've still got this bit attached. So what I've done is I've left this one on here to show you what I did, and I have literally just rounded that off. And now when I turn it over, I've got Merry and Christmas. Now I can hear you all saying, but the edges are rough. The way that I'll rectify that is take a ball tool with a fairly large ball, and I'm going to run round the edge with that, and that will take the rough edge off. So when I pick my Christmas up and put it on the top, you can see it makes a perfect shadow die behind it. So I've stuck these onto the silver that I've cut out by hand from drawing around the sentiment die. Those have been stuck on with a little bit of Cosmic Shimmer, and I think I'm going to put them on the front. So I quite like the idea of Merry in the middle at the top and Christmas in the middle at the bottom, and I'm going to pop those up onto some foam. So this is today's card. Very quick little makeup with just a bit of prep, which to be honest you could colour this in front of the TV. Yeah, very quick little make, very effective. So thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed today's content, please consider giving it a like and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already done so. And I shall see you next time. Bye bye.